Well, the time is just gone, 13 minutes past 8, and we must say, Alhamdulillah, we make so much shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the wonderful efforts of many people, many organizations throughout South Africa. Alhamdulillah, very, very structured, very professional, and one of them, obviously, being this event that is taking place, the Muslim Integrated Development Plan. This is the fourth council meeting, and we're going across to be joined by the MIDP facilitator, Brother Ismat Muhammad. Brother Ismat, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
Jummah Mubarak to you on this beautiful day of Jummah, inshallah, and we trust and hope that we all enjoy the mercy and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this day.
آمين. جزاك الله خيرا.
Right, let's talk about the MIDP, the Muslim Integrated Development Plan. And we know that there is an event that is taking place on Saturday, the 7th of October. And the whole question surrounding Muslim burial, and I know this has been a major, major talking point. But just looking at the MIDP, a bit of background information before we get down to actually talking about this fourth council meeting and some of the detail that surrounds it.
The Muslim Integrated Development Plan is a strategy to develop an integrated development plan in every area of South Africa. We have started in the areas of Umlazi, Ilovo, in Durban, Maddenhill, Thornwood, Inanda area in Inanda called Namibia, as well as Umbumbulu. So these are various areas that we have started developing the integrated development plan. Integrated development plan is to give an opportunity for Muslim community workers working in the various areas a platform for them to express their concerns and challenges, not only their personal one, but their experience as community workers and the community's experience. So we create a platform for them. And by creating this platform, we bring the entire ummah to the table of shura. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in the Quran that we must sit and make shura. But we must make shura with the people that a matter affects. So the MIDP is all about developing an integrated development plan for the ummah in every area. What is the role of Muslims in every area? What are we doing as Muslims to uplift humanity? What are we doing in respect of dawah, Islamic education? What are we doing in respect of helping humanity, welfare, in respect of relief, in respect of education, and various other aspects, water, sanitation? So the critical issue that we will address on the MIDP is, as much as we give the community workers a platform, we give all organizations and all volunteer groups and everybody an opportunity to come together, to work together. Each organization or each group will remain independent. However, we will collaborate. We will strengthen the collaboration and we will strengthen Islamic work on the ground.
Yes. Now, coming to this fourth council meeting, now there are a number of challenges, and sometimes we're not aware of these challenges that Muslims in other areas actually face, particularly looking at burial according to Islamic rites. A lot of us take it for granted because in our areas we have the necessary ghusl facilities, we have the burial committees, we've got the hearse. We've got all of these facilities actually in place. But it is quite shocking that when you say there are Muslims who are not buried as per Islamic rites in Durban, when there is a lack of support from the Muslim community in certain areas, when there are no Muslim burial facilities, we're talking about ghusl, we're talking about cemeteries, we're talking about hearses in certain areas. Now, these are obviously grave challenges that we are faced with, Brother Ismat.
These are some of the challenges, but if you go to the first challenge of Muslims not buried according to Islamic rites, it's not actually the burial societies that are responsible for it. It happens in the emerging Muslim community, if you want me to use that technical word, but those who have accepted Islam, whose family is not majority Muslim. So what happens is while the person is alive, they may complete an affidavit and say they want to be buried according to Muslim rites or what we call wasiyat. But unfortunately, at the time of burial, the families object. Now, sometimes what burial societies have to do is make ghusl and janaza salah and then hand the body over to the family. There are times where the families do not allow the family member to be buried, even though they want to be buried as a Muslim. So the issue is like in the area of Amlazi, when we are creating the Muslim Integrated Development Plan. So the Muslims of Amlazi ask, how can we tackle this issue? What can we do to address this issue? Because when the person passes away, we have a problem. And the problem here is that we cannot bury according to Islamic rites, which means that there is a problem. How do we address this issue as an ummah? Obviously, you go to Amlazi, which is one of the largest suburbs in Durban. There is a cemetery there. But as Muslims, we do not have a place in that cemetery to bury our loved ones. So the question is, we don't even have a ghusl khan or hearse in Umlazi. So the question now comes up from the Muslim community is, what can we do to assist this community? And obviously, there are various issues. It comes down to a very, very, very sensitive issue. Do we trust the Muslims of Amlazi? Are we ready to invest in establishing a ghusl khan? But on the other hand, we look at the Muslims of Amlazi. Do they understand what is the burial society? Most of our burial societies, alhamdulillah, they're doing excellent work. They are, alhamdulillah, real servants of Allah, because most of them are working or have a business, and they provide excellent an excellent service on a voluntary basis. None of them are paid, most of them. None of them are paid. And you can call them at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever time in the day. They make themselves available and they sort out the janazah. Now, do the Muslims of Amladi understand this? Do they have people in the community of Amladi who are going to take the responsibility in this regard and make sure that the ghusl is done at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, or get the body released? So we're going to look at it from two perspectives. But obviously, we need to tackle the municipality that in this area, in Inanda, in the Kwamashu, in various areas, do we have a Muslim cemetery in those areas? The support in regards to the Muslim community, this comes from community workers, where they may feel that the Muslim community is not supporting. But there are times where, unfortunately, the janazas are delayed. And the reason being is there are certain costs that are related to the burial, and sometimes that delay the burial of the person. Now, maybe the problem here is the people in the community are getting hold of. There are certain Muslim burial societies that are private in respect of their business. So maybe sometimes they end up going to those people rather than going to the right people who will assist them without any conditions. There has been over the years sometimes challenges with burials and not proper paperwork and everything. However, Brother Inayat, the reason for this meeting is to bring those community workers to the table, to give them an opportunity with burial societies, Muslim organizations, ulama, bodies, the Muslim community, everybody is responsible. Everybody should come to this meeting. We should sit, we should listen to them. We should give them an opportunity for them to speak. Then we should give the burial societies an opportunity, the ulama bodies, the Muslim organizations, the opportunity to speak as well. What we need to do is find a solution together as an ummah. This is not a platform for people to argue and disunite. This is a platform for unity. This is a platform for collaboration and strengthening Islamic work. That is very, very important. So what we will do, we have coordinated meetings. This is the fourth council meeting. We have coordinated some very controversial and difficult meetings, like, the Corinthian church issue and various other issues. And all we look for is, most important, a solution for the ummah to take forward on a united effort and a collaboration effort to strengthen Islamic work, because that is critical. So we don't want community workers in those areas to feel that they're alienated. And if some of them may have personal challenges sometimes with any organization or anybody in any matter, we are there to address it. Now, Brother Inayat, we are not setting up another burial committee or society. What we may propose is setting up MIDP councils in every area, not only for burial and to tackle issues, but to tackle issues of every aspect. For example, some of the community workers have brought up the issue. The other issue that will be coming up is bursaries and skills training. They're having challenges in accessing bursaries, and there are a lot of people that need skills training. So we will bring all the organizations and bodies together and say, okay, these are community workers. How do we strengthen our collaboration to address this issue? Then there's another issue. If you establish a masjid in an area, okay, whichever area, regardless of whichever area, should the local people not be part of the trust board, and should they not be or management committee to run the masjid? Or should it be this external people or big organizations controlling it? No, there should be shura. How do we find a common platform of working together and strengthening Islamic work? It's not about anybody taking over an Islamic center. Then there are issues of challenges with welfare. However, this is not going to be a talk shop. It's an issue of practically resolving matters. So if we set up the Muslim councils in every area, whenever there are issues in those areas, we got Muslims that we can contact, that can collaborate and try to sort the issues out. We can bring them onto the table. At the same time, they will develop the Muslim integrated development plan. And one of the aspects of the plan is, what challenges do you face as an ummah? For example, in Umziniyati, the one area in the one village, we have Apa Fatima Dlomo. This Apa has been continuing to promote Al-Din al-Islam. What is important in the other areas, we've got a good organization like Isizwe Dawa that's doing work. We have Maulana Ismail Dlamini, and we have many others who may be doing work in that area. But in this small area, we've got one Apa who's trying to promote Al-Din al-Islam. We as an ummah, it is all our responsibility, whether it's burial, whether it's the issue of establishing Islamic centers and promoting Al-Din al-Islam, it's all our responsibility. So we're going to bring everybody to the table and say, how do we help Sister Fatima Dlomo? Now we've realized that the best way to assist her is by establishing, by a Muslim organization going in there, assisting her, establish an Islamic center, appoint a alim, appoint an adima to assist her in promoting al-Din al-Islam, because she is not qualified enough, and she is learning Islam, but alone she cannot do it. So as an ummah, and then we collaborate with various organizations, the burial society. So in case somebody passes away in that area, they have communication directly and they know how to contact the burial society, what needs to be done. If they are parent people that need bursaries, they know how to access bursaries and which organization. If they need guidance, inspect of ulama, they know which organizations to contact. In regards to all this is collaboration effort, sharing information, and we as an ummah taking various organizations to that area. If we take emergency relief organizations into that area, they need to recognize the Muslim community in that area. And whilst they deal with that area in respect of emergency relief, they will collaborate with those local Muslim committee, which will be created by the MIDP Council. The MIDP Council will be a volunteer council. As much as you can even call it a Muslim council, it doesn't matter the name. And we know that we have Muslims in that area. And at every meeting, we will call them and we will ask them, what are your challenges? It's not necessarily that we can address everything. But my message to the Ummah, Brother Inayat, is very important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us in South Africa. There is a reason why we are the Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and we must promote our Deen and Islam. We must uplift humanity solely for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We must obey Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam by taking Islam forward, by strengthening Islamic work and the collaboration between Muslims. We must remember that if we fail on this, and it's not only giving money, we need to be involved in the strategy. It's not volunteering your time and doing a bit of feeding here and there. It's about developing a strategy, monitoring and evaluating. Are we doing effective work on the ground? For example, another topic we're going to come about, are we doing dawah? Is our dawah effective in this country? There are many children that go to madrasas, and after a while, they do not continue to practice Islam, like adult classes. The question we need to bring in is not to create a controversy, but rather to address the issue. And by addressing the issue, we will find a way to strengthen the Islamic work and that people remain in the fold of Islam. Now, very important, if we fail on this and we do not do this work properly, and if we misinform the community that we are doing this but we're doing something else, will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not replace us with a greater ummah? Or should we not make a dua if the Muslim community of South Africa has failed Islam in this country, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replace us with another ummah, and that we open our doors and we tell the international community, please come in, Muslims. The Muslims of South Africa, unfortunately, are weak. They cannot take Islam forward in this country. Should we do that? Or should we get onto the ground, and should we not drive Islamic work on the ground? This is our responsibility. It is important for us to earn a halal earning. It is important for us to educate ourselves, but it's also important for us to volunteer our time. For all of us as an ummah, it's everybody's responsibility, not only trustees and management of organizations, not only in this case of burial society. It is us as an ummah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that need to come together to take Islam forward in this country. It is even, Alhamdulillah, and Alhamdulillah, Salam Media have been good enough to give us a platform. So you are a partner in this, and other social media, other media organizations, other media institutions need to come together. We need to create this awareness. And we hope, inshallah, that on the 7th, we're going to be having the meeting. And we hope that, inshallah, my brother, that we get people from 9 to 1 o'clock at Al Ansar Conference Center in West Road. And we hope the Muslim Ummah comes. And we hope, inshallah, that after that, we can come back to you and we can have another interview and a greater discussion on what were the challenges and what was the solution. So we together as an Ummah can take Islam forward in this country, inshallah. Ameen. Because we must be aware that if we want our children to remain Muslim, if we want the legacy of Islam to continue in our lives and in those of grandchildren, our children and great grandchildren, then we got to take responsibility of strengthening Islamic work in collaboration in this country.
Absolutely, Brother Ismail. Jazakallah khairan so much. And I just want to remind our viewers and listeners that this goes out to trustees, to management, to staff of Muslim burial, charitable organizations, donors, volunteers, well wishers, all members of the Ummah dedicated to uplifting humanity. And I quite like what you said, Brother Ismat, and this is the reason why we're calling this a Muslim integrated development plan, because we are talking of development, a holistic development of the Muslim community and where our responsibilities lie. And just to reinforce that this is an event that is taking place on the 7th of October from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock at the Al Ansar Conference Hall in West Road, Overport. And there are a number of items on the agenda, and also at the same time, looking forward to linking up once again with you, Brother Ismat, after the meeting, and just to go through some of the developments at the meeting, and more importantly, looking at solutions, looking at the way forward as well. So, for anyone still wanting to go, there is an email address. It's info@huda, HUDA hyphen INT.org. It's info@huda-int.org, and you need to respond by the 4th of October at 1500 hours. Brother Ismail, Jazakallah khairan so much once again for your time, and absolute pleasure having you on this wonderful day of Jummah. Have yourself a blessed Jummah as well going forward, and Allah reward you. Allah accept your dua, all your efforts, and please remember us in your duas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallahu khair. May Allah Ta'ala be pleased with you and your family and the entire Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Jazakallahu khair. Salamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ismat Muhammad, MIDP facilitator, with us this morning. And with that, we're going for a break. We come back, we'll be joined by the sister of Dr. Afia Siddiqui, Dr. Fawzia Siddiqui.